Think about what you ate this morning. Something quick, something familiar, something you have eaten hundreds of times without a second thought. Now, here is the question I need you to sit with. What if that breakfast, the one that feels normal, even healthy, has been quietly putting extra stress on your kidneys for years? Not because you were careless, not because you made bad choices, but because after 60, the kidneys change. And some of the foods that worked fine at 45 can become a real problem by 65, especially when sodium, phosphorus, sugar, and protein start stacking up in ways no one ever warned you about. I'm Grace Wells, kidney and diabetes health educator for older adults. And today we are going through the 5 most common breakfast traps that may be putting quiet pressure on your kidneys right now. This morning, before you even realize it, stay through all 5, because the one most people miss is not the obvious one. It is the one that looks the healthiest on the shelf. Let me start with something real. A woman in her late 60s told me she had been eating the same breakfast every morning for years. Yogurt with granola, a glass of orange juice, a slice of whole wheat toast. She was proud of it. She thought she was doing everything right. Then her blood work came back. Potassium elevated. Phosphorus higher than her doctor wanted to see. Kidney function quietly declining. No dramatic symptoms, just slowly, steadily in the background. Her renal dietitian went through that breakfast item by item. And what she found was not one single problem. It was a pattern. Every item on that plate was carrying something her kidneys were struggling to process. Not in huge amounts, but every single morning, stacking on top of each other day after day, year after year. And that is what I want you to understand before we go through these 5 traps. The danger with breakfast is almost never one meal. It is the repetition. Eating the same thing every day without realizing what it is doing over time. That is the breakfast mistake kidney health after 60 keeps coming back to. Not ignorance, not bad intention, just repetition without the right information. The first one might surprise you. Orange juice, apple juice, any fruit juice really. Seniors reach for juice every morning because it feels like a healthy choice. It is fruit. It has vitamins. What could be wrong? Here is what most people do not realize. When fruit is juiced, the fiber is removed. What you are left with is concentrated natural sugar, sometimes as much as a can of soda, with nothing to slow it down in your bloodstream. For older adults managing blood sugar or early kidney concerns, that sugar spike matters. The kidneys are directly involved in filtering your blood. When blood sugar rises fast, the kidneys work harder. Over time, for people with diabetes or prediabetes, which affects a significant number of adults over 60, that extra workload adds up. And there is something else with certain juices that almost never gets mentioned: potassium. Orange juice in particular is high in it. For most healthy people, that is completely fine. But if your doctor has already told you your potassium is running high, or if your kidney function is reduced, a large glass every morning may not be the right move. This does not mean juice is off the table forever. It means ask your doctor or renal dietitian whether juice fits your specific picture. Because for some seniors, especially those with CKD, diabetes, or elevated potassium, it may be worth reconsidering. If no one has ever mentioned this to you, you are not alone. Drop a comment below if this is new information. You would be surprised how many people are in exactly the same position. The second trap is one that really catches people off guard: instant oatmeal. I know, oatmeal is supposed to be healthy, and plain, whole-rolled oats can be a solid choice for many people, including some with kidney concerns, depending on your labs and your doctor's input. But instant oatmeal? The individual packets, maple brown sugar, apple cinnamon, peaches and cream, that is a very different product. Check the sodium on one of those packets. Many carry between 170 and 250 milligrams per packet, Some people make 2. And that is before the rest of breakfast even begins. Then look at the flavoring: brown sugar, dried fruit pieces, concentrated natural flavors. The carbohydrate load in a flavored oat packet can push blood sugar up much faster than plain oats. For seniors managing diabetes alongside kidney health, that combination of hidden sodium and fast-acting carbs is not a kind morning choice. This is where kidney health after 60 gets tricky. Because the front of the package says heart healthy, it says whole grain, it sounds like exactly what a responsible senior should be eating. The kidney concern is almost always on the back label, in the sodium line, in the ingredients. And most people never look there. The smarter swap is genuinely simple: plain rolled oats, made yourself with a pinch of cinnamon and a few blueberries. No hidden sodium, no sugar packets, just control over what goes into it. If your doctor or renal dietitian has given you specific guidance about oats or phosphorus based on your labs, follow that first. But for many seniors, this one swap alone can make a meaningful difference in the daily sodium load. The third one, pay close attention here: processed breakfast meats, bacon, sausage links, ham, turkey bacon, even the ones labeled low-fat or reduced sodium. Here is what processing does to meat. Sodium is added, sometimes a lot of it. A few strips of bacon can carry 400 to 700 milligrams of sodium before anything else touches your plate. A couple of sausage links can be similar. Add a slice of toast and you are already at or past a significant chunk of the daily sodium amount many kidney-conscious doctors recommend. And it is not even 8 in the morning. The kidneys are your body's filtration system. When sodium is consistently high, they work harder to maintain fluid balance. For older adults with high blood pressure, CKD, or reduced kidney function, that daily pressure matters in ways that do not always show up until later. And then there is phosphorus. Phosphate additives are used in many processed foods to preserve color, extend shelf life, improve texture. These artificial phosphates are absorbed by the body much more efficiently than phosphorus that occurs naturally in whole foods. For seniors whose kidneys are not clearing phosphorus as well as they used to, that difference matters. The body may not be able to handle the extra load, and over time, that can quietly affect bone health and cardiovascular function. Ask your doctor whether processed breakfast meats fit your picture, based on your phosphorus levels, your blood pressure, your kidney function. For some seniors, the answer will be limit them significantly. For others, an occasional small portion may be fine. But having them every single morning without ever asking the question, that is the trap. This next one feels almost unfair to bring up, because it carries one of the strongest health halos of anything in the grocery store. Flavored yogurt, the fruit on the bottom kind, the kind with protein on the label, the kind that seems like the perfect responsible breakfast choice. Here is what is often hiding inside: added sugar, phosphate additives, and depending on the variety, meaningful amounts of potassium. Dairy naturally contains phosphorus. Plain yogurt has it. But many flavored or processed yogurt products also contain added phosphates, the same artificial phosphate additives we just talked about in processed meats. And the sugar in some flavored yogurts? 20, 25, even 30 grams in a single container. For someone managing blood sugar alongside kidney health, that is not a small detail. Now, plain unsweetened yogurt is a genuinely different conversation. For many seniors without specific phosphorus or potassium restrictions, moderate amounts of plain yogurt may be perfectly reasonable. Your CKD stage, your blood sugar control, your actual lab values, all of that factors in. But if you have been choosing flavored yogurt every morning because it says healthy on the front and low fat on the side, this is the moment to flip it over and read the back. The swap is not complicated. Plain Greek yogurt in a moderate portion with a few fresh berries. Then let your doctor or dietitian help you fine-tune from there based on your numbers. Simple, controllable, and much less hidden sodium and sugar than the flavored versions. And now the fifth one, the one I mentioned at the very beginning, the one that looks the most innocent, the one almost no one questions. Whole wheat toast or multigrain bread, the store-bought pre-packaged kind, with peanut butter or a spread on top. Bread is one of the most underestimated sources of sodium in the senior diet. A single slice of store-bought bread, even whole wheat, even multigrain with seeds on top, can carry 120 to 200 milligrams of sodium. 2 slices of toast means you could be starting your morning with close to 400 milligrams from the bread alone, before any spread, before anything else. Now add conventional peanut butter. Most of the standard jars carry sodium, some brands more than others. The natural no salt added varieties exist and are a better option, but most seniors are not reaching for those. They are reaching for what has always been in the pantry. And here is the thing that connects all 5 of these traps together. None of them looks dangerous, none of them screams problem. The glass of juice, the flavored oatmeal packet, the sausage strips, the fruit yogurt, the toast with peanut butter, each one has been presented to us for decades as a reasonable, even healthy choice. But when you are over 60, when kidney function may already be lower than it was at 45, when blood pressure and blood sugar are already part of the daily picture, the accumulation of sodium, phosphorus, potassium, and fast sugar across a single breakfast can place a real burden on the kidneys before lunchtime. That is the breakfast mistake that kidney health after 60 keeps circling back to. Not one bad food. A pattern. A daily pattern that no one ever stopped to question. So what does a kidney smarter breakfast actually look like? A quick note first. This is not a one-size-fits-all answer. If your doctor has given you specific guidance based on your lab results, follow that first, always. But for general starting points, plain eggs without processed meat alongside them offer protein without the sodium and phosphate additive concern. Plain rolled oats made with water and topped with a few blueberries, no packets, no flavoring. A small piece of whole fruit instead of juice. A low sodium bread if you enjoy toast. They exist, just require a bit of label reading. Water or herbal tea as your morning drink rather than juice. None of this is a dramatic overhaul. It is a few small, consistent swaps that reduce the daily load on your kidneys over time. And sometimes that is enough to make a difference in the numbers your doctor sees. Here is what I want you to do before your next appointment. Write down your actual breakfast, the specific items, the brands, and bring that list with you. Then ask, based on my kidney function and my labs, is there anything in my morning routine I should be looking at more carefully? Ask about your eGFR if you do not already know it. Ask whether your potassium or phosphorus has been checked recently. Ask whether sodium is something your doctor wants you to track. These are not alarming questions. They are exactly the kind of questions a well-informed patient asks. And most doctors genuinely appreciate when someone comes in with that kind of awareness rather than waiting for problems to show up in the numbers. Because the kidneys do not usually send obvious distress signals until function has already dropped significantly. That is what makes kidney health after 60 so easy to overlook. No dramatic pain, no clear warning, just lab values, quietly shifting while life goes on and breakfast stays exactly the same. So here is what I want you to take away from today. Tomorrow morning, look at your breakfast with fresh eyes, not with fear, with curiosity. Check the sodium line on 2 or 3 things you eat regularly. See if one easy swap is right in front of you. And if you want a simple, practical, kidney-smart breakfast checklist built specifically for seniors over 60, comment breakfast below. I am putting one together, and your comment tells me it is actually needed. While you are down there, tell me what you usually eat in the morning. Oatmeal, toast, eggs, cereal, yogurt, fruit, juice, Something else? I am genuinely asking because your answers may shape a future video. Your experience matters here. And your comment may help another senior realize they have been overlooking the same thing for years. If this video made you stop and think about something sitting in your own kitchen right now, something you have never questioned, then it did exactly what it was supposed to do. If this is the kind of clear, honest kidney health information you wish someone had laid out earlier, you may want to stay with this channel. We cover kidney warning signs, blood test numbers, CKD diet questions, medications, and the everyday habits that actually matter after 60. No miracle claims, no scare tactics, just real information you can bring to your next doctor visit. And if you are wondering what quiet warning signs the kidneys actually send, not the dramatic ones, but the ones seniors dismiss for months before anyone catches them, that is exactly what the next video covers. It is not what most people expect, and it shows up long before most people think to check. I will see you there.